Hello, hello. I remembered to turn the microphone on. Good morning, Anik. I am just going to post about the live on Instagram. I'm just going to post the link there. Let's see. I haven't found a better way for this yet than to email myself the link so that I can get it on my phone. And I know it's probably not the best way, but copy. But if you go to the YouTube app, it is really confusing for me to get the link. Anywho, link, post, live stream. Good morning, everyone. Oh, I'll get, I'll be ready in a sec. Okay. All right. Good morning, Minnie. Good morning, Ivana. Good morning, Natasha. Good morning, Sarina. So nice that you're all here. Yeah, first thing I remembered was to turn the microphone on, so I will probably forget again next time, but we will see. Right, and today, yes, I am also wearing my onesie because it is so cold, and I was awake very early because of a mosquito in my room. So yeah, I didn't feel like putting on actual clothes yet, but they are clean. I got them from my wardrobe, so it's not that different from actual clothes. Good morning. Yeah, so I have two potential projects for today. So last week, was it last week? Yes. Last week I started the granny square blanket. And there's quite a bit of progress. I did quite a bit. So I have, how many are these? 4 times 5. I have 20 squares. Yeah. I had a long car ride yesterday. I was not driving, so I think I did about 8 squares in the car yesterday. Maybe more, maybe even 10. No, I think 8. Yeah, but it's quite nice. Good morning, Astrid. Yeah, but I have to say, I get bored quite easily with granny squares. But, you know, it goes really fast, so I still get a lot done. I also still have a lot of yarn. This whole bag is yarn. I took all of the skeins with me in the car yesterday. And it's a lot. Yeah. Oops. What was in there? It sounded heavy. Was it just the yarn? Oh, yeah. I brought a paperweight. You know, sometimes I read a book while I'm crafting, but my problem is that the book doesn't stay open, so I put a paperweight in between the pages, so that's why. So yes, the granny square blanket, quite a bit of progress, and I believe after the live last week that I weighed the granny squares that I already had, and I made 2 granny squares last week, and I believe that it was 30 grams together, so 15 grams each. So if I have 20 squares times 15 grams, I do have to double check if it's 15 grams. 20 times 15, just using the calculator on my laptop. 300 grams? Would this be 300 grams? No way. It's possible. Do you think it's possible that this is 300 grams? Crochet does use a lot. I don't have the scale here upstairs, so yeah. Natasha says that's why I read on an e-reader, no pages that can flip back. Yeah, that's a really good solution. Could be 300 grams. Yeah, I think it could be. I'm just wondering if I'm remembering, because I definitely, 15 grams is definitely somewhere in there, but I don't remember if it was that I saw 30 grams on the scale and then halved it, and then 15 grams is each square, or that 15 grams was on the scale and each of the squares was 7.5. Not sure. So in that case, this would be 150 grams. But I don't know. Good morning, Gabriella. Oh, good morning, Annalena. Oh, so good to see you again. I missed you a couple times. Yeah, so quite a bit of progress. Very nice. I will still need to do a lot more. Because I had, 2.1 kilos of yarn. So let's calculate how many squares I can make with 2,100 grams divided by 15 is 140 squares. 140 squares. Wow. Wow, yes. Oh, you were on holiday. Oh, okay. Well, welcome back. I hope you had a great holiday. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've started 3 projects this month. I was down to 16 whips, and then I started 3 projects, so now I'm at 19 whips again. So yes, but it is it's all using scrap yarn. It's all using up a lot, so that also feels nice. And this new whip is going by really, really quickly. Let me just adjust the needle. There. So, a few months ago, I was knitting a cat cushion. That probably some of you will have seen. A cat cushion, and so the front was all little cat squares, really, really cute, and the back was just stripes knit with cotton, because I still have a lot of cotton scraps. This is all Scapious Catona. Let me show you the bag. Also quite a lot. Don't know if you can see the colors through the bag. Yeah, there's a lot. So, and when I was knitting the cushion, I thought, okay, I'll just use the cotton. It won't be nice because, who knits with cotton? But it actually turned out to be really nice. I mean, the reason why people don't like to knit with cotton is that you see like mistakes, or you see where some stitches are smaller and some are larger, like gauge differences. You see that very easily in cotton. So it's not a very forgiving yarn to knit with. It is a much more forgiving yarn to crochet with. So yes, I had all of this yarn from my crochet days. I still crochet, but not, not more than knitting. Or not as much as I knit. So I thought, after I knit the cushion, I thought, well, why not try to knit something else with it? And I am knitting a top. Yes, I'm gonna be knitting a sleeveless top. I'm in love with it. It's super cute. I love the colors, and it's all very random, and I love it. So yeah, I will. I am keeping notes. I used 96 stitches for each side, so of course I'm knitting the back and front together. So 96 stitches on 3.5 millimeter. That's 192 in the round, and where the back meets the front, I've done one column of purl stitches. And you can kind of see that when I pull it apart. I hope. But if I don't pull on it, it'll be like a little seam. So I just thought it looks nice. I did that on the other side as well. But this side is a little bit untidy because this is where I, join new colors. So it's very untidy. So yeah. And I did a poll. Sorry if you can hear the trucks outside. I have the window open. And I did a poll to ask which project I should be working on. And I did a poll on Instagram and in the Facebook group. If you haven't done that yet, okay, maybe I'll give you a couple minutes to vote for your favorite if you haven't yet. So it's on my Instagram stories and in the Facebook group. Because I'm fine with either. I like knitting on the new top and I like the granny square. And right now on Instagram, the granny squares have 6 votes and the scrappy project has 13 votes. So this is the clear winner on Instagram. And in the Facebook group, let's see. How do I see? Oh, and in the Facebook group, there's 3 votes for this and 2 votes for the granny squares. So it seems like the scrappy project is winning. One person commented, "Do both." Yes, that's possible. So yes, I see another vote coming in for the scrappy project. Ah, Natasha, thank you. Yes. So I think we'll do the scrappy project. Right. So I'm gonna set up my overhead camera. And while I do that, I'm very curious for what you are making at the moment, or maybe not at the moment, but maybe this week. What is your most recent project? Ooh. Are you knitting? Are you crocheting? Are you embroidering? All right. There. There we go. Ivana is knitting on her Sea Haven. Ivana is always making me look up stuff. Sea Haven. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it on Instagram. On Ravelry. Sea Haven. I think I found it. Oh, it's a beautiful t-shirt once again. I envy your projects so much. Right, so I'll let you guys join in the fun. So I'll just show you. There it is. Sea Haven. It's beautiful. By Jennifer Shields Toland, and it's in English. Now I've zoomed in too much. There we go. Very nice, Ivana. Annalena is knitting the fragmentation shawl from Stephen West. Ooh. I want to look it up as well. Okay. I haven't heard of this one yet. Oh, I've seen that one. Okay, here we go again, okay? Ta-da! That is beautiful. I wonder how it is knit. This is amazing. I suppose it's some kind of interlock magic. Oh, that's so cool. Whenever I see a project with like a very interesting construction, I always go to see the projects on Ravelry to see if I can see, you know, a work in progress where someone is making it. Natasha is knitting this Sorvete top. Oh, that's the pattern I used to you know, to figure out the stitch count for this one. That's such a coincidence. Yeah, I agree. It's not size inclusive. But yeah, I just wanted a like, oh, what's a stitch count for a fingering weight, and then I can calculate mine. Oh, you had to add stitches to make it fit, but how you want it to fit. Yeah, exactly. So I also use it as kind of a base. Still very nice. Gabriella is knitting the Jerbo 92834 from Edna. Oh, I've heard, I've knitted Jerbo pattern. 92834. Oh, the Midsummer Kranz. Is it the top with the lace around the neckline? Yeah, beautiful. Okay, I'm not going to be turning the camera anymore for every pattern because otherwise I could be doing that a long time. And Elena says about the fragmentation shawl, It's easy and you can play with colors. Yeah. Oh. Oh, thanks, Ellen, for telling me your name. I didn't want to call you E.T. Sorry, the truck is coming by. You're knitting the retro check from Nancy Marchand. Oh. I bought one of Nancy's ebooks the other day about tabby weaving. It's kind of like a weaving effect in knitting. So, and Winnie is knitting the Take It Easy sweater from Wolplein. Ooh, Take It Easy sweater, Wolplein. So that's a Dutch yarn store, and they often have knitting kits. Oh, that looks nice, with like a balloon sleeves. Really nice. I love the double collar as well. Beautiful. All right. Oh, and can you see my little Hema doggy? So, if you're Dutch, you will know this, no questions. But if you're not Dutch, Hema is one of the best stores on the planet, and and they have, well, is it their mascot? No, it's from an old children's book, Jip and Janneke, and they had a doggy called Tucky. And it's on their onesie, so yeah, Tucky, yeah. Yeah. I love the projects that everyone is making. And I find it so funny how, whenever I talk to non-knitters, that they're like, or non-crocheters, that they say, oh yeah, well, it's something you do in winter, right? Not in summer. I do this all year round. We all love Tucky, yes. So, yeah. I find his name funny because Tuck means branch, like from a tree. So, yeah, he's like little branch, Tucky. I think because dogs always go for, sticks. They find sticks and tree branches on walks and stuff. I think that's why. Gabrielle says, we've made a door stopper and a tochtrol. Yes. Is it a draft stopper? Because tocht is draft. So it's this little tube pillow that you put in front of a door to stop the draft. If there's a proper English word, please do tell me. I would like to know. That's nice. Yeah. And now we make a Siep doorstopper. Who is Siep? Oh, do you mean you on the doorstopper and on the draft thing you have Tucky? And now Siep. Who is Siep? Is that from Jan Jans en de Kinderen? Siep. Or is it the kid with the yellow hair from the cartoon? The cat. Oh, is it also from Siep? Siep the cat. Nee, de kat. Let's do Dutch. Oh, it's also from the same comic as Tucky. Yeah, oh, sip. Ah. We weren't really into Jip and Janneke when we were kids. I mean, my brother and I. But we were really into another of the same author's stories, Fiep Westendorp, right? We were really into Ebbeltje. And is Pluk van de Pettenflat also hers? Because we like that one as well. And we had little cassette tapes, and we would listen to them over and over in the car. Yeah, we really liked Ebbeltje. It was like this naughty kid who, you know, she had on a new dress, and then she went to play outside, and then she had grass stains in her dress. So it was like this very rambunctious child, and you know, she had funny stories. It was nice. Okay, so I'm at the end of a round. So now is always the time when I think, should I change to a new color or continue? But I actually have quite a bit of this color, so I think I want to do a couple more rounds. Maybe like this gray stripe here. Yeah. Let's do that. More rounds, yeah. Oh, good luck, Gabriella. See you later. And I've actually been wearing a lot of my handmade crochet tops this season, but you know, because they're cotton and because I can throw them in the wash, and they're very nice and sturdy. Or yeah, they feel nice. So I thought, let's make more. And let's use up my scrap yarn while I'm at it. Yeah, and talking about scrappy projects, so in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks? Yes, 2 weeks, I'll start the summer sock the summer sock along with Scapius, and we're going to be knitting some stripy socks. And I feel like I also want to knit another pair of socks during the make along. But of course I've already knit the ones, I've already knit a couple pairs for the tutorial videos and the photos and stuff. But that means that for each of the colorways that I used, I have a little ball of self-striping yarn left. So I was thinking that for the make along, I make really long, scrappy, stripy socks. And I think that would be really fun. So I think that's what I'm going to be knitting during the sock along. So if I haven't explained yet, the sock along, it's going to be free to join. There's a free sock pattern. It's my favorite sock recipe. It's toe up, German short row heel, and we're using self-striping yarn by Scapius. So so it'll be very entertaining to knit. I always find self-striping socks very entertaining. With regular socks I tend to get a bit bored, but with the stripes it makes it really fun. Yeah, and I'm gonna do videos. I have a video for for knitting the regular sock, and I also have a video for knitting 2 at a time. So 2 socks, 1 entire pair on 1 circular needle. So that's really interesting. Love your Kawasaki top. Oh, thank you, Ivona. Yeah, it was from a long time ago. So it's also not size inclusive at all. But yeah, I still like it, and it's very easy to make. Okay, one more round, I think. Okay, time to pick another color. Okay. So I've used quite a few cool colors. So I want to use a warm color next. A lot of pinks. These are almost all the same. Okay. Yeah, Yvonne, I've been thinking about doing a video of just this. And maybe testing out different types of needles to see which sound they make. There's this one maker on Instagram. Well, there's probably a lot that do videos like this, but Arona from Buku. She's known for her punch needle books, but she does embroidery as well. And she does videos where there's no music, no talking, and you just hear the embroidery needle punch through the fabric, and then you hear the embroidery floss going through the fabric like and it's just, yeah, it sounds really nice. Okay, time for another color. Annalena says, I really miss the lives. Ah, I'm glad to have you back. I really like doing these because it just gives me a nice calm moment to start the day. And yeah, it's also nice to record a video where I don't have to be talking the whole time, because it's exhausting. So yeah, these are just really nice to do. And it's nice of you guys to keep me company. Hey Ariadne! Late to the stream. I've missed a few times, but I was able to watch along one this morning. I'll watch along for this time, for the time being. What are you working on, Carmen? I am working on a scrappy top, and let me just join this color. Yeah. So, big surprise! I started a new project. I have a lot of cotton scraps, and I thought, you know, I could use some more summer tops, like tank tops. So I'll just use up my cotton scraps for that. And last week, I'll just quickly, oh no, I can show it on this camera as well. Last week I started a granny square blanket with all of the hand-dyed yarn that I still had. And I already have 20 squares so far. I have a lot of this color, so I'm using that for the border of each granny square. So yeah, but I have over 2 kilos of this hand-dyed yarn. It was yarn that I dyed myself and that didn't sell in my shop. So I thought, okay, I'll just, it's also nice to make a project with this myself. So yeah, I have 2,000 grams, 2,100 grams. And yeah, that means I can do 140 squares in total. So there will be lots more of this. And yeah, I somehow also started this project in the last week. I was being very good with my works in progress. I have this journal, or kind of, you know, a notebook where every month I write down every single work in progress that I have. And yeah, I had got it down to 16 works in progress, and now I have 3 more, 3 new ones. Lovely colors on both projects. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, they are very different color-wise, but I love them both so much. Of course, this is gonna be just, you know, a summer top, and I can wear it underneath clothing, so it can be a little bit more vibrant. And then for the blanket that I want to, you know, put in the living room, I wanted it to have some softer colors. But, you know, I also have a lot of blankets with like the whole rainbow. Maybe that's why I like blankets so much, because any color works. And I've been doing a lot of stash busting projects this year, and it just feels really good to not think about it too much and just make stuff. Of course, I do want to think about it in terms of, you know, am I going to use it? Because I could use up all of my stash yarn if I just, you know, held 20 strands double at a time and knit a giant blanket, but yeah, I might not use it, or I might not think it's pretty, so there's definitely some thought that goes into this, but you know, for the hand-dyed yarn, I was thinking, you know, for so long I was thinking like, oh, but you know, I dyed these yarns myself, I should make something special with it, and I didn't think that a granny square blanket was special enough. But you know, after a while, it was just like, well, you know, a blanket in any shape is going to be more special than yarn sitting in my closet, so I just cast it on, and I'm very happy with this so far. Good morning, Emma. Welcome, welcome. Annalena says, I am more into garments at the moment, but I love making blankets. Yeah, I've been really into garments as well this year, and I love that you know, I love that with the garments you can showcase them outside of the house. Actually, my first big crochet project was a blanket, and keep crocheting ever since. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, and also, you know, you can have too many blankets, but you know, with garments, you can wear a different garment every day, and sure, you can put a different blanket on the couch every day. And you know, I think we have like 10 blankets that we regularly use, but at some point there's gonna be enough. Will I have enough to knit another round? Maybe. The groceries are done, now time for some knitting. Oh, that sounds like a great plan, Emma. What are you knitting on? Knitting on my socks. Number 1 is almost done, but need a car project this weekend. Oh yeah, so time to finish this one and cast on the second. Oh yeah, great idea. I had a long car ride yesterday and I worked a lot on the granny square blanket from last week. So I think I finished about 8 squares in the car. So yeah, car crafting is just the best. Ariadne says, I finished my first big blanket last year. It took me about a year to finish it, but it's really rewarding to see how much my family uses it. Yeah, that's the best. You know, it's so fun making something, but then, you know, using it or seeing other people use it, that's just the best feeling. I've gifted a lot of like socks and hats to family, and you know, sometimes they come back to me and like, oh Carmen, I'm so sorry, there's a hole in the sock, or oh, there's like fluffy bits all over and I'm sorry, I wore them too much. And I'm like, don't be sorry, I'm so happy that you wore them this much and I will fix them for you, I will mend them. It's the best feeling. Okay, I have to pick a new color soon. And after I join the new color, I have a scary story for you about one of my first knitting projects. And this is really a story that only knitters will find scary, I think. So let's join a new color. I am making a top with cotton scraps. I have a lot of Scapius Catona scraps from many blankets and stuff. And I just thought I would like a new summer top, and I'm gonna knit it from cotton because it's easily washable and, you know. Ooh, this one is nice. Okay. Okay, which one? I think the olive green one first. Yeah. Okay, so are you ready? One of my first knitting projects was a cable sweater. and it was beautiful. I had a clothing magazine, and there was this, I think it was Elle magazine or something. And I saw this sweater by Prada, and it was baby blue. It was fluffy. It was cable all over sweater. It was beautiful. And I went to the yarn shop, and I asked for the yarn for Sinterklaas, which is sort of Christmas. So I got the yarn, and then each week I would go to that yarn store, or maybe like every couple of weeks. I would go to the yarn store and ask the lady, where I bought the yarn from, like, I'd like to make this sweater, and she would give me tips, and she would help me, and we figured out this whole sweater, and I think it took me about 2 years to finish it. It was my very first sweater. It's not my very first knitting project, but still, cable sweater, just, knit in pieces, bottom up, with a set-in sleeve. It was probably more complex than any sweater I do today. And I finally finished it, and it was beautiful. And I was still studying, and every weekend I would take the train to go home to my parents, and I took a big suitcase because I couldn't choose what to do, or maybe I still needed to do homework, so I brought my laptop, I brought my study books, and one time I also packed my sweater. And I don't know, I was in the train, and there's this one station where you can change trains, and sometimes the one that you're changing to is going to be faster. So I was just walking out of the train with my suitcase, and checked to see if the other one was faster, but it wasn't. So I went back in the train, and I rode the train to to the next destination. I got out, and I thought, I'm missing something. What am I missing? I was already out of the train, and I was like, oh no, my suitcase, where is it? I walked back in the train, where I thought that I had been sitting. No suitcase. I thought, where is this suitcase? And I asked the train conductor, like, please wait a couple more minutes. My suitcase is in here somewhere. Please, can you, and he spoke over the intercom to all of the passengers, like, please, if you see a white suitcase, bring it to one of the staff, but no one found my suitcase. And that's when I realized that when I got out at the previous station, I had taken my suitcase out, and I had left it there on the, what's it called? Like, I had left it at the station. Yes. And I froze. I was like, oh no, I left a suitcase unattended on a station. They're gonna think it's a bomb. Yeah, on the platform. I left it on the platform. They're gonna think it's a bomb. They're gonna throw it away. They're gonna destroy it right away, or they're gonna close the platform. I was like, oh no. So I went to another train conductor, because this train, had to leave. So I talked to one at the station and explained, and I wasn't completely sure that the suitcase was there. I think, I thought, well, it must be there, right? If it's not in this train, it must be there. So I talked to one of the station train staff, conductors, whatever, and he was looking at me like, oh, you left a suitcase on different station, perhaps. Okay. And he says, okay, I think I know what to do. And he called the conductor that was in the next train. I mean, the next train that was coming from that one station, coming towards this one. And he asked them to check on the platform, and if there was a suitcase, to bring it with them. And I had assured them there was no bomb in there, it was absolutely safe, but obviously they should not take my word for it, you know, in an actual bomb threat. But anyway, and it was to arrive in about 30 minutes. So I waited. I was like, oh no. And finally, this man came walking towards me with my white suitcase. And I was like almost crying. I was like, oh, thank you so much. My sweater is in here. And of course, he didn't know that I had painstakingly knit that sweater for 2 years. So he was probably like, oh, I did all of this for a sweater. But, you know, my laptop was in there, my camera's in there, my whole life was in there. But I just imagine that he would have thought, oh, I did all of this for a sweater. But I have my sweater back, and it's still one of my favorite sweaters. I suppose I should show you the sweater. I have some pictures on Ravelry. Sweater. There it is. Okay. I'll show you the picture from the Elle magazine that I had. Oop. And I've also called it my Prada sweater because it was inspired on a Prada sweater. So there it is. And this is the one I made. So the cables are a bit smaller, but otherwise. This is a long time ago. This is like 10 years ago, maybe. So yeah. But it's beautiful. I love this sweater. I'm so glad I didn't lose it. That would have been horrific. Yeah, my first sweater. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad as well. I mean, oh man, if my suitcase was lost, I mean, I have my laptop in there with all my homework on it as well, so it would have been a disaster. But, you know, especially for me, for the sweater. Yeah. And it's held up really, really nicely all these years. I made it with Lana Grossa Cool Wool Merino or something like that. I think it's 100% merino. And it's yeah, it's just really nice. So really proud of that. Of course, it's a bit tighter on me now. It's much tighter on me now. But because of the cables, it also has some stretch. Yeah, it was a really nice yarn. So it was my first proper yarn. And that's why I asked for it for you know, for Sinterklaas, for Christmas, because I couldn't afford it myself. Yeah, but that was a roller coaster of a day. And now every time I take the train, I think back to that time when I got out of the train to check something, left my suitcase, and went back in the train. I always like clench my bags extra hard in my hands now. I suppose I should give a shout out to the lady from the yarn store as well, who helped me with this amazing project. And I mean, she totally did not have to, but she did. And the yarn store is the Wolhoek in Bonningen. I'll write it in the chat. It's in the southern part of the Netherlands. And it's a really nice yarn store. It's also very full, as you know, 99% of yarn stores, yarn up to the ceiling, very nice yarns, very nice lady. Her name is Lom. She helped me a lot, and it was really fun last year when you know, she remembered my name, and then over the years she has seen stuff from me in magazines, and then last year she also had kits for the Sasnachkel that I designed, and I came to the shop, and it was just such a fun moment that, you know, she taught me so much, and then now she was selling kits from something I designed, and it was just like this wonderful full circle moment. It's really, really nice. Thank you, Ivana. Oh, good question, Aladina. Are you choosing colors randomly, or is there a plan? There is a kind of plan. Mostly, I choose colors I want a balance between warm and cool colors. So I started, well, you know, and some colors are neutral, like this brown. It's probably more warm than cool, but you know, some colors are a bit neutral. But yeah, so I have the green and the blue, and this color, well, it's also kind of, I don't know, perhaps warm. And then I wanted to have this this orange in there as a really pop of warmth. And then I did a couple cool colors, lots of cool colors actually. Yeah, and then this one is a bit warm again, and then here I wanted some really warm colors. And that's usually what gives balance to a project for me. Yeah. And then, you know, how many rounds per color is usually decided by how much yarn I have of that color. So I have quite a few balls of that one, so I'll use a bit more of this. But I try not to think about it too much, because then, you know, takes the fun out of it. And I've already knit quite a bit today. I was here in the brown stripe when I started the stream, so I've already knit this much. Okay, I think I have to leave in about 10 minutes because I'm expecting a delivery today. And I do want to put on actual clothes before I open the door. So I'll stay for about 10 more minutes. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just practice. And it's a really, this cotton is surprisingly nice to knit with, so I'm not splitting it or anything. They're nice needles. Oh, there's an ambulance. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna weave in some ends now, because one thing about using a lot of colors is that, some of them I only use for one round and then there's a big gap. So I'm gonna weave a couple of them in before I go. Thank you, Ellen, for being here. Yeah, I agree. This was a nice start of the day. Thank you, Ivona. Yeah, Thursday mornings have really become my favorites. It's nice, just it still kind of feels like in the middle of the week. And it's nice to have a little break then. Even though this is technically work for me, doesn't feel like it at all. Okay, I should really prepare myself for the delivery. So. All right. Did quite a bit today. Yeah. Who knows? I might even finish next week. Who knows? Serena says, see you next week. Hope I feel better. Oh, you're not feeling well. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't ask. Yeah, I hope you will feel better next week. Thank you, Annalena. Yes, thanks everyone. Have a lovely day. I hope you have a great weekend ahead of you. And I will see you next week. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Ariadne. Thank you, Natasha. See you next week. Oh, okay. Well, still, I hope you feel better, Serena. All right. Thank you all so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.